Are you tired of feeling like video editing is an impossible to master skill? Well, guess what? It doesn't have to be, because in this video, I promise that I will take that mountain-sized hurdle and shrink it down to just a little molehill. Because what I found after working with so many clients is that editing stands as the biggest hurdle for people. But we must overcome this, because what I found is that editing your video really enhances your messaging, and it helps your message to actually stick in the minds of the people who watch. And when you get to that point, then you can really start to impact their life. Now, if that's you, then go ahead and drop a hashtag #IamACreator down below. And if you are a true action taker and creator, I do have a $97 course all about how you can make money on any sized channel, so you can purchase that down below. I'll tell you more about it at the end, but in this video, I'm going to be gifting you guys the editing section. So yeah, let's get into it right after this. Okay, so when it comes to editing, the first thing you gotta do is pick a software program. And how exactly do you do that when there are so many out there? Well, what I would recommend is I would use the free editing software that your computer comes with, unless you're planning on doing more fancy editing. So if you have an Apple computer, then your computer should have come with iMovie. And if you have Windows, then it should have came with either Movie Maker or Video Editor. There is another free software program called DaVinci, which is also really nice. And also there is Rush and Premiere Pro, and there's Final Cut. And these all cost money, but like I said, I would only invest in them if you're planning to do really fancy edits. So when it comes to this, you just want to pick one and stick with it, because like I said, you want to get to a point where you have that muscle memory so that editing will become easier and easier. And when it comes to this, after you pick your software program, YouTube is your best friend, because there are so many in-depth tutorials out there when it comes to this. So watching those can really help you in the editing process. If you are someone who doesn't have a computer to edit on, then I would highly recommend Adobe Rush, because there is a free app for it, and it's just super easy to make edits on there, and it's probably the best software that I found when it comes to editing on your phone. And what I want to do today is I want to perform a basic demonstration on all of these skills right here. I am going to be using iMovie, but just know that even though these software programs are really different, they're also very similar in their layout. So this tutorial will be useful for you regardless whether or not you're using iMovie. And I just want to show you what I mean by this. So I want to show you some of the software programs and just show you how they're all very similar. This right here is Adobe Rush, but as you'll see, they almost all have like the preview mode in the top right, and then the workspace at the bottom, and the media to the left. So this is Rush. This right here is DaVinci. This is iMovie. And this is Premiere Pro, which is the most complex. But like I told you, they're all very similar. So what I want to do right now is I want to give you a little tutorial on iMovie for some of these basic editing things. So typically what you do, and this actually applies to all the software programs, is when you open it and you get to the home page, all you have to do is create new movie. And then here we have a clean space for editing. Now, the first thing you want to do is import your media. So if you just click right here, right now I put all of the things that I wanted to add in this video into this folder, and I can simply hit export. And then all of that will show in the left corner right here. Now, one other way that you can export media is you can just simply drag and drop it from your files or from your desktop and then do it that way. I typically just like to import it like the way I just showed you. But once you have that, what you can do is you can just simply drag and drop the media from this little section right here. And now what I can do is I can start editing this in this workspace. Now, the first thing I want to show you is how to split a clip, because in this video here, I don't actually start the video till this point right here. So what I can do to get rid of this section here, there's actually two different ways I can do this. So I can go to the end of this video here and notice how these double arrows came up. What I can do is I can simply click and drag it to make it shorter, like that. One other thing that I can do is I can just simply click at the point where I want to split it, right click it, and then simply hit split. And then at that point, I could just delete this section right here. So now that we did that, the next thing I want to show you is how to add text. Now in iMovie, there is this little bar in the upper left-hand corner, and this is where you can add things, like audio, titles, backgrounds, and transitions. And right now what we want to do is we want to add text. So when I click on this, what I can do is I can simply find a text that I like. So let's just say that I like this hypothetically. I can just simply drag and drop it. And here what I can do is I can type in what I want to say. And I can also change the fonts. I could change the color if I want to. And then I can also change the size of it. So let's say that I really like this now and that I want to change the length that it shows in the video. What I can do is I can simply hover over the end here and notice that double arrow appeared again, and then I can simply drag it the way I want it and make it shorter or longer. Now, one thing that I will say when it comes to this is that typically in all the editing programs, what you'll have here is you'll have the video, and then underneath the video, you will have the audio. And then on top, you can add things like text and graphics and whatnot. So the next thing I wanted to show you now that we're on the subject of graphics is I want to show you how to add in a graphic. So let's say I have this picture here and I want to add it in. I can simply drag and drop it from the media into the workspace. And what I can do if I want to size this is I can simply hit on cropping. And right now I want to fit it because I want the whole thing to show. But let's say that I want it to appear smaller. If I hit this button here and I show this little drop down arrow, if I hit picture in a picture, then what I can do is I could move this around and change the size of this. So this is really nice if you want to add in a graphic and change the location of it. But let's say that I want to add in a graphic that requires a green screen. So for example, this video that I have right here is kind of cool. It shows like these little ninjas hopping on the like and subscribe button. And let's say that I want to show that in my video, but I don't want that green to appear. What I can do when I click on it is, again, I can hit this little button here. And then underneath this drop down arrow, what I can do is I can simply hit green/blue screen, and then boom, it all disappears. And that actually looks really cool. This also works really well when it comes to B-roll. So let's just say hypothetically at this point, I was talking about a mountain range. And as I was talking, I wanted like some beautiful mountains to appear on the screen as I was talking about mountains. What you can do is you can simply drag and drop that on top of where you're talking. And if you play it, if you stick with me until the very end of this video, and this is really good because, a lot of people are very visual. So, if you show stuff like this, and it's really going to grab the viewer's attention. Now, let's say you get to a point in your video where you want to add in a transition. Now, a transition is just simply like a change in the screen. So for example, if you want there to be movement from one point to another, they have all these different options here. Now, to do this, what you would do first off is you would split the clip where you want the transition to be. And then same as before, you can just simply drag and drop it at that point. So when you're playing it already, so it's kind of cool because then from one point to another, you can have like that nice little effect. Okay, now let's say that I want to add in some music to my videos. So what you can do is, again, underneath this bar, you can click on audio, and then this typically is connected to your iTunes account or, wherever you have your music saved on your computer. And the same as before, you can simply drag and drop it. Now, in terms of the volume, you want to be careful because you don't want the music to be louder than your own voice. And there are two different ways that you can change the volume. The first one is by simply hovering over it like this. And notice again how those double arrows appear. What you can do is you can just simply move that up and down and change the percentage of the audio. Another way that you can do this is you can hit this audio button here in the middle and then simply change it this way by dragging this little thing. All right, so there's just a few other things that I want to show you before I end this tutorial. In this upper bar here, there's some really cool features that you can use. Like these first two are for color. So if you wanted to, change the color a bit, or, if you wanted to change the saturation, maybe make it black and white, or make it really warm, or like change the contrast, you can do that here. This button here is where, you change the cropping. So if I click on this, then I can drag it and, change it like that if I really wanted to. This button here is really good if you have a shaky video. So obviously this video isn't shaky, so I can't show you what I mean. But if you film a video and like it was just like really shaky, that button here would help get rid of that vibration. So that's a really cool feature. We already talked about changing the volume. This is a really good feature if you have like external noise in the background. So like, I don't know, if you filmed by a street and there's like car noises, this is really good for reducing the background noise. Another thing you can do is you can change the speed. So what I typically like to do is I like to customize this and just, change it by whatever number I wish. And this last one here, I don't really use too much. This is just for, if you want to add in some audio effects. Again, I never use this one, but it seems pretty cool. But yeah, those are just some last features that I wanted to show you. Okay, now let's say that I'm done with this video. To export it, typically you can just click this right button in the corner here and then click export file. And then once you hit next, you can just name the file and choose where you want to save it. Alrighty, so you guys just watched the editing section of my 30-day course, and this covers the second tier of my YouTube pyramid. But in this course, every week is dedicated to a different tier. So, week 1 is all about avatar clarity and setting up your channel. Week 2 is all about how to create videos, post, script, film, and edit them. And then that will naturally grow an audience. And then I'll show you how to make money and to really impact and create that change beyond yourself. So that's just a little breakdown of my 30-day course. If you have any questions about it, feel free to ask them down below, but for a limited time, you do get a free coaching session when you sign up for this course, and I will not be offering this forever, so take action now. Schedule that call so that you can really make this happen for yourself in 2022. So yes, thank you for watching until the end of the video. Feel free to check out this next playlist all about YouTube success and how you can make it on this platform. So I'll see you for the next video.